speaker. I don't usually just go in and start talking to people. That's not what I do. People pay me to come and talk about their processes and why they're broken and how can they make more money. That's what I do. So I want you to put me to work today. I want you to ask lots of questions, hard questions about growing your business. I mean, make me work. Make me uncomfortable. I love that, because out of that comes greatness. So put me to work today. Now, this guy right here, that's young William. So when you see young William, that's your cue to ask a question. All right? He's going to be, because he has lots of questions. Lots of questions. And, this morning, when I was coming here, he's like, where are you going, Daddy? And I said, well, I'm going to talk to some people. You're always talking to people, Daddy. And because sometimes he comes, if it's not a long session, he'll come and he'll sit. I want him to see. I mean, when I started Holmes Consulting, it wasn't just about my name. I always wanted to have a son named William, and I wanted him to take over the business. I had an opportunity to talk to a group of people at Wild Lake High School, their top scholars last year, and one of the things I did was I talked about 20-year decisions, not just 1-year decisions or 3-year decisions or decisions that will affect your children, put them in a better place. If you don't have life insurance, I would advise getting it. I don't sell any life insurance, but my point is that is how people have passed on wealth to generations. Make decisions based on how you can have a change and an effect on your family and their future. So, see, I'm 40, so I start to talk like this. This is what 40 sounds like. But my son's going to be 5 tomorrow, so he told me, Daddy, hurry up and come on back. We got video games. We got this new Spider-Man game. So once I get out of here, we're going to go back and play Spider-Man on the Wii. So, but he told me to make sure that you guys ask a lot of questions and put me to work. So today we're talking about sacrifice, and we've heard a lot about it. And Brian was gracious enough to invite me to come and talk to you today. A few months ago, I started figuring out, okay, well, what am I going to talk about? And it's really evolved my topic, or how I was going to kind of illustrate this topic. But so I asked some of my colleagues, I asked some of my clients. I said, when you think of the word sacrifice, what do you think of? And it was probably about 30 people I talked to about it. I believe in focus groups. So it was kind of like, but the two main things that people really kind of came up with were either focused on religion, or maybe more so, slightly based on religion, maybe a slightly different vein. So a lot of folks said something valuable or someone that's highly revered that's offered to appease a god. That's your customary virgin volcano scenario, first harvest fatted calf kind of thing. Okay, but it's something valuable. Okay, just give anything. It's got to be your best. The second popular definition that I heard was that it's a giving up of something valuable or something important to get something that's even more valuable or more important, almost like an upgrade, like an exchange. Okay, that sounds like a pretty good deal. I like that. But, all the people I talked to, you see in green, they kept saying value. It's not just any old thing. It's got to be valuable. So then it made me ask them, and so I'm going to pose to you, what do you value? What do you value? Freedom. I like that. Anyone else?
My time.
Your time. Very good. Family. Good. Peace. Nice. Anyone else? Health. Very good. Mental stability. I value that in any woman that I date as well. Flexibility. Good. What about life? Very good. Anybody value money? Anyone? All right. Travel. All right. So I'm going to do a magic trick. Look at that. All right. So people said money, travel, marriage, relationships, family. Somebody was thinking cats. Who was thinking cats? Education, time. So if these are the things you value, I mean, we go back to what sacrifice was about. First, you have to have something of value to offer, something of value to give. So this is what you value, right? What do you want? So the whole deal is you have to have something of value first to give, but then if you're going to give it up in hopes of getting something better, what do you want? What do you want? Anybody? Freedom. Wealth. Anyone else?
Retirement homes.
Okay. Very good. Stability. All right. Now what about, I saw all these business owners. Nobody say anything about growing their business? That's a little scary. I mean, maybe the money comes with that. But, like I said, I talk about business. But so if you are serious about growing your business, then I think that the rest of these slides and the rest of the time me talking, it would be pretty specific about the kind of things you're going to have to give up in order to grow your business. But if you're not focused on growing your business, that's fine. I think you could maybe use this as a metaphor, an analogy for getting the things that you want. So if it's the freedom, if it's the time, if it's family, if it's retirement homes, whatever, you can just kind of, every time I say business, just exchange that for whatever you want, all right? How much do you want those things? What are you willing to do to get it? How committed are you? Because, see, I talk to hundreds of aspiring entrepreneurs every single month. Hundreds. Comes to my events, whatever. And I can pretty much tell, and I'm not sure I hurt anybody's feelings who's talked to me, but I can pretty much tell within a few minutes how serious you are. I can tell. You can't BS me. I've been doing this for 20 years. People pay me to grow their businesses. And it's not like we put in technology, websites, databases, new processes. It's the technical stuff. I don't do the whole, you can do it. I don't. I don't. No one has ever paid me to say you can do it. They pay me, in fact, what they say is, well, I need you to do it. That's what they pay me to do. So entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's not. And so, I don't want in any way to, in fact, no one should ever stand in the way of your goal, but it's not. If you can't get up every morning and do what you need to do on your own, it's not for you. I work 12, 14, 16 hours a day when my son is at school and he's not around. I work constantly and it doesn't feel like work. I love what I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. The only thing I love more than that is my son. And that's the dead truth. So for you, when you think about the things that you want, if you're really committed, nothing's going to stand in your way of getting it. Because I'm sure there are things you've done in your past. I don't know all of you, but if you've either gone to school, graduated, got married, found the love of your life, whatever it is that you've achieved, you put the work in to get it done. You wanted that, okay? And that's great. But growing your business is the same way. It's exactly the same. How committed are you? You sell yourself every morning when you get up. You don't have to sell me. You sell yourself. You say, well, all these things are going to come up and stand in my way of getting done what I need to get done. Some of the best advice I got from someone who actually invested in my company, helped me to grow it. He said, Will, I want you out of the weeds. I'm going to give you this money because I want a return. That's what he said. So I know you love the weeds, but I want you out of the weeds. I want you to get me my money back. And it said, in order to do that, I need you to focus on growing the business and let anything stand in the way. So that's what I did. And some of the best advice he gave me was, when you're trying to figure out all the things you have to do, what's going to make you money the fastest? Do that. Then after that, what's going to make you money the second fastest? And do that. All that other stuff, the emails, the excuses and all that, let somebody else do that. Pay somebody else $12, $15 an hour to do it for you. Stop messing around. Best advice I've gotten in the last couple of years. I sent an email out. Some of you guys are on my team, so you know. I had 28 people that I pay. I was surprised. I was like, geez, is it that many? So I'm talking to you based on experience, talking based on not messing around. So if you're serious, you need to eat and live and breathe this stuff. If you're not, don't waste your time. Because this is what you value. You're probably better off just keep doing what you're doing than wasting your time, because you're going to have to give something up. Because your life, this is your life. And you might say, well, can I do it all? Well, here's the problem. We only got 24 hours a day. And that blue stuff, that's your life. Now, everybody in here is a little different. Sleep, gym. I've been talking about going to the gym, but the gym, eat, family, friends. And the funny thing is, sleep is, I usually sleep, I go to bed around maybe maybe 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Usually I'm up every morning like 5:36. I just wake up, pop up, ready to work. I got a lot to do. I get my son ready for school, all that stuff. And so I chose to make a sacrifice on the number of hours I sleep so I can fit in more time to be committed to my thing. So for me, it's business. For you, it's something else. But, just do the math. How many hours do you sleep? Let me pick on somebody. Who's an aspiring entrepreneur? How many hours do you sleep?
5, 6.
All right, good. That's a good start. How about eating? How long does it take you to eat every day? How many hours is that?
I'm military man, so I don't take a
I like you. I like you. Actually, full disclosure, I've known Ed for a long time. I know him. That's a HR consultant, very, very sharp young man right there. But my point is, if you do the math on this, you're going to see that you're spending, just on usually sleep, eating, traveling to and from work, working. That's 16, 17, 18 hours out of your day by itself. And then, throw in, actually, the thing is, I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in a long time. I do watch Scandal. I do watch that. I do watch Scandal. I got a thing for Carrie. I do watch Scandal. So, but, there's a lot of negativity, and we could talk about social controls and things like that. I won't even get into, that's a whole other topic. But there's a lot of things that people will get drawn into that take away from them achieving and working on that red part. So, you guys are smart. This will add up to 24 hours. This really depends on how you want to do it. And then whatever's left over is what you're going to commit. Commitment's a strong word. The other thing is money. Robin's going to talk about this, but everybody has different levels of money, but it's up to you and how you spend it. 100%. What percentages are you going to put in these things? And trust and believe, it takes money to grow your business. It takes money to work on your dream. If you're going back to school, it takes money. So, like I said, when I was putting this together, I talked to entrepreneurs. I talked to them and I said, talk about sacrifice. And then what I really wanted to do was get their ideas on what are the common really I asked them, what are the sacrifices that you've made? I had no idea, I knew what I was going to say, but I wanted to hear what they had to say. So these are essentially the top 8 sacrifices that entrepreneurs that I know, and also based on my experience, that they've made in order to be successful. I grouped them into 2 sections, operational and personal. At first, I'm going to talk about operational. Sacrifice number 1, familiar yet outdated methods, ideas, and technology. Okay? Essentially, these are all your old ways of doing things. It's easier to keep doing things the old way. So I always joke does anybody have a BlackBerry in here? All right, good. My friends who saw BlackBerry says not a lot of them. I joke them about the old technology. But whether it's based if you're growing your business or you want to do something different in your life or achieve something else, you have to learn to be uncomfortable. That's where change comes in. Change is uncomfortable. I go into organizations, it's always that one guy who's been there a long time, and he does not want to take this training class that we're about to deliver. There's this one guy that's like, why do we need a new database? Why do we need a new phone system? The old one works. I'm like, okay. You're right, it does. But don't you want to make more money? Don't you want to grow as an organization? Don't you want to be better? So learn to be uncomfortable. So that allows for change. Make decisions based on data. You know, I go into a company and I say, where did you get your customers from last year? And they're like, oh, well, you know, I feel like we get a lot. As soon as they say that, okay, they're not even looking at their data. They don't know. Make decisions based on the data. Don't go off of your feelings. Don't go off of emotions. If you want to grow your business, if you want to start this thing, like those little charts I showed you with the red circle and the blue circle and how much time, like really, and we talked about SMART goals, take the time and say, on my calendar, I'm going to put this much time into growing my business. Young Williams wants to know if you have any questions on that. I'm here, beat me up. Usually I charge for this. So, no, but seriously, ask me some questions. Make me work today. Make me uncomfortable. Go ahead, Ms. McCoy.
What type of data should you be using?
Ooh, nice. All right, very good. Basics, okay? Depending on whatever business you have, cost per. Usually, if you want to start there, what's my cost per acquisition? All right? If it's a client, cost per client. Like, how much is I? Oh, okay, I'm going to move ahead. How long does it take? How much does it cost me to get a new client? And that alone, if you just start there, that will tell you, okay, if it costs me this much in January, it costs me this much in February, if that number is going down, that's a good thing. It means you're becoming more efficient, all right? You should look for things like, if you have a website, you should look for things like how many people come to your website. But that doesn't assume you're going to get any sales. You should look at how many people come and then how many convert. If you're talking to people and you're out and about, I don't even really give out business cards anymore. You should say, look, if you're serious, go to my website and just sign up. So, you know, if you whatever it is that you're giving out, see how many you get back. Free samples, if you can avoid that, please do. But try and find ways to measure your success. And you have to define what your success is. Either it's how much money you want to make, how many retirement homes you want, if it's how much freedom I want to have. Put some real measurements on it. Also, when you figure it out, set deadlines. There's no such thing as someday. As soon as somebody starts saying someday, one day, please put some. Just pick a calendar. Pick a day. That's better than just saying someday. All right. Sacrifice number 2: control and micromanagement. My business partner Paz is here, and I was telling you about a person telling me to stay out of the weeds. Paz is always on me to stay out of the weeds. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I learned a couple years ago, the sooner I get out of my business process, the better I can grow. Like I said that email, I was like, geez, 28, I think it was like 28 people, 25 people, something like that, on that email that's on the team. And I'm focusing this year on growing the business. I'm focused this year on going out, getting government contracts and that kind of thing, getting larger contracts. So if I'm letting them do their job. I check in on them, but they're doing their job. I'm out of the process. Right now, people are writing business plans. Right now, people are doing websites. I'm here talking to you. Sacrifice number 3, unnecessary spending. This is hard for some folks. But I can tell you one thing, it's a lot easier to keep your business going when you lower your expenses. $1 million business, but your expenses are 1.1, that's not a successful business. A business where maybe you bring in 30,000 and your expenses are like, 10, that's successful. So it's not about how much money, it's being smart about how you structure your business and making good decisions based on the numbers. Having a budget, I know Robin's going to talk about that, I'm sure. Investing wisely. I mentioned earlier about 20-year plans to build long-term wealth. I'm not sure who was first. I turned my head. I'll start here.
You mentioned in your first point that you should get comfortable with changing technologies and things. But doesn't this kind of fly in the face of that? If you're always investing in new technology, you're always increasing the budget to speed?
That's a very good question. Rule number 1, I never invest in old technology. Never, ever, never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, ever invest in old technology. So new technology, though, for the most part, if you wait long enough, you can probably get in a place where it's probably cheaper to maintain, cheaper to implement, than what you're probably currently using. And actually, it's an excellent question because you have to, it's all about the numbers. And I'm going to come right back to this in a second. We write a business plan. People have all these great ideas, but I don't know if it's a good business idea or not until we run the numbers and see if you actually can make some money. So when you think about a new technology purchase, okay, if I put it in, what's my return on my investment? I'm going to pay $10,000. How long will it take me to make that back? How many more clients will I get? How many more phone calls can I handle? What's customer satisfaction going to look like? What's my employee satisfaction going to look like by doing this new technology? And if it makes sense, then do it. If it doesn't make sense, then don't do it. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Yes, sir.
Well, my question was similar to his, but I'm going to modify it a little bit. But since you don't want to use old technology, you always want to use something that's new, and you always want to make decisions based off of data, what method would you use to measure the effectiveness of something new that would make you want to transform from using something old to that if you don't have any data to use to make that decision?
Well, one, depending on how much money you have to spend, I wouldn't make a risky decision and just get it because it's new. Two, if it's been around long enough, there are some case studies, there is some data from other companies. If I come and I sell you, hey, I'm going to get you this new server, all right? You're like, okay, how's it working for other people? And then you call them up and you talk to them. And I don't want to make it sound simple, but really that is that simple. What kind of returns are you getting on your investment? Okay? What I'm going to do is this. If you have any questions, because I talk a lot, I'm going to make sure I stay in the time frame. Email them to me, all right? I'm going to take one as we go, but I want you to email them to me or go on my website and submit it, and I will answer, I swear to you, every single question you send me, all right? Number 4, unqualified, unmotivated friends. Let them go. Now, don't hire based on DNA because they're related to you or they're pretty. Hire based on skill set. If you know your business process, you should know what you need in order to make it work. Hire people based on them knowing what they're doing. Also, don't take unmerited advice. If someone's never done it and they're saying do this or they're saying don't do this, where have you been? Have you grown your own company? Have you done this or that? If their first bit of business is telling you about your business or coaching you in your business, I'll leave that alone. All right, so those are the first 4. We're going to run through these last 4. These are personal. This is my favorite one right here. Fear and excuses. I could give you my poem on excuse. I think some of you might know that poem. But fear paralyzes, but some specialize in excuses. Let me tell you, so many people, it's just fear stopping them. That's it. They're smart, they're sharp, they're talented, they have money, but they're scared. I talk to them every day. Because as soon as I start saying why don't you try this or why not try this, they give me 10 reasons why they can't. I'll leave it there because I feel I've hurt some feelings, but that's good. No such thing as someday, and you tell yourself every single morning when you get up and tell yourself you can't do it, and all these other reasons why you can't achieve. Time wasters, negativity, and distractions. TV, really? Is this furthering my dream? If you're not sure, one thing I use one of the things I ended up sacrificing years ago was my wife. I didn't put her in a volcano or anything, but no, we got a divorce because I was working too much and I wasn't paying attention to her. So that was my biggest sacrifice to get to where I am. I wasn't paying attention. But now, after that, I came up with core values. And these core values say, no matter what, I do these things in this order. So when I make $1, first thing on my number 1 core value is my son. I buy something for him or put money in the bank for him. That's any dollar I make goes right to him first. Second thing after that, is pay my staff. I try and pay everybody on time or they get angry. But is this furthering my dream? If you're not sure if this is something you want to do or not, ask yourself, is this really furthering my dream or is this really wasting my time? Sacrifice number 3, sleep and me time. This is really where you're going to have you're going to want to have your family and friends in the future. So they need you and they miss you. So you're probably going to have, this is the easiest thing probably to do is to give up a little me time and give up a little sleep time, to spend more time with your family. Your customers need you, so you're going to have to stay up a little late to meet their needs. And I can tell you one thing, when you're doing it right, it doesn't even feel like work. And number 4, pride and ego. I did this last, I've been working on this one. But it's not about you. When you have a business, that whole thing about building they will come, it's BS. Doesn't even work. It's about you figure out what they want, and you just figure out if they can afford to pay you at the level you need to be paid at, then you build it and they come. That's how business works. You find a need and you fill it. It's not about you and your bright idea. It's about doing some basic research, figuring out your target market, figuring out what they need, and then giving it to them. You provide a service, and that's not because you're cute. They want what you have because it's a good fit for what they need. And the last thing I want to just say is, when you think about it's not about you, and giving this up, this idea that's about you, focus on a mission. If you start to do things with your business to make it so that it's bigger than just you, it's bigger than just selling this widget or whatever, people will be attracted to you. You start thinking about, we talk about changing the economy by helping small businesses to not fail. That's a big deal. People are attracted to that. Brian, so I roll with 20 deep everywhere I go. Well, maybe that's why. So, young William says, these are the necessary sacrifices. He says to get rid of them. I agree. That's on you. So I'm out of time. I want to do some Q&A, but I'm out of time. But like I said, if you have any questions, please just email me. You can go on the website. A special offer. If you're a serious entrepreneur, if you're not serious, forget what I'm about to say. Don't even listen. But if you are serious, everybody here gets 1 free hour of consultation, either me or one of my guys, and also a discounted marketing ebook. This is the ebook I use when I teach at the Small Business Administration. It's 26 pages of awesome. All right? I'm serious. It's really good. They wouldn't have me teach it if it wasn't. And, we do sell it on the website, so you can go and you can pick that up. All you got to do is just go to willholmesconsulting.com/skills. Go right there. In fact, if you go under events, it's the first one that says January Skills event, and you can sign up for our consultation and also pick up a very discounted book. All right? Thank you.